Let's bring in New York Congressman Anthony D'Esposito. He's on House Homeland Security. It's good to see you, Congressman. So we've seen protests in Chicago, in Dallas, in California, and now New York. And, you know, we saw Guardian Angels. Curtis Sliwa was also one of the 6 arrested. So how are New York Democrats going to handle this? How is the Democrat Party going to handle this nationwide?
Well, I think the answer is they're not handling it. That's the problem. You know, when Mayor Adams was running for office, he touted the fact that New York City was a sanctuary city. But the fact is that there was no plan in place for when this city needed to actually be a sanctuary, and that's what we're seeing now. You're seeing, you know, New Yorkers from all political parties, they're angry. I mean, the number that you just put up was 82% of New Yorkers were unhappy with the way this is being handled. That's in a city where Democrats outnumber Republicans by a huge margin. So the message is clear. This isn't a partisan issue. This is an American issue. The fact of the matter is that Secretary Mayorkas and our president and the administration, the Biden administration, they are a clear dereliction of duty. They're not doing what they're supposed to. The Republicans in the House of Representatives passed a Secure the Border Act back in May, which would have brought money and will bring money for infrastructure and technology on the southern border. It'll hire more Customs and Border Patrol agents, but we don't see it moving forward. Why? Because the Biden administration and our border czar, Vice President Kamala Harris, are saying that the border is secure and there's no issues.
Well, it looks like the Texas and the border state strategy is working. In other words, sending migrants, they have been living with mayhem for years now, the border states and communities. They've dealt with an influx of crime. They've dealt with human trafficking and drug trafficking. And really heinous, horrendous crimes at the border in our border communities. And now you're seeing here in New York cops and cop cars and barricades surrounding a Catholic school in Staten Island. That's now a migrant shelter. It's a former St. John Villa Academy. I mean, protesters say, you know, what they're saying, Congressman, they're saying they're not anti-immigrant. They're concerned about crime. They're angry at city officials who are not telling them they were doing this. One voter said, quote, the government has to stop doing this to our communities, stop doing it in secret, stop lying, and stop lying about it when they're confronted. So, you know, the problem is it just feels like illegality. It feels like it's out of control when you see the influx from the border of illegal immigrants. People are kind, they're generous, they want them taken care of, but they also want law and order. They want it done fairly. They want it done the right way, Congressman.
Absolutely, and that's part of the problem. It's not that you're feeling that it's out of control. It is out of control. Listen, New York City, since the Democrats have implemented cashless bail here in New York, we've seen a rise in crime. I spent my entire adult life as a member of the New York City Police Department as a detective, and we saw crime, you know, up and down through my career. But over the last few years, crime has risen. We're allowing criminals to conduct crimes, commit crimes, and be let back out on the street. And now with illegal migrants coming into our city and taking up much of the resources that's needed for others, there's a real problem. And quite frankly, the New York City Police Department is doing the best they can with the resources they have. There's just not enough. And every single day we see more and more coming into our city, and they're trying to deal with the crime that they're already having to deal with because of laws passed by Democrats in the state legislature. It's not feeling of out of control. It is completely out of control.
Congressman D'Esposito, thanks for joining us. We'll have you back on soon.